All right, Mike Moore, Mindset Mike of Wrestling Mindset, back in Michigan. We see you here a few times a year. You know, what brought you up to St. Ignace this year?
So it's my first time up here. I'm here for the Boudro Camp. Really, really great camp for those of you that aren't really familiar, or maybe you heard about it and haven't decided whether you want to go. This is going to be one of my favorite camps that I'm going to do every single year. It's a really unique experience, so definitely check it out. I'm here doing mindset training at camp. Not just having a few talks, but some really strategic conversations with wrestlers, and in addition to the 300 wrestlers per camp, also the coaches, and helping them work their mental game in addition to all the great technique that they're doing. So it's a great thing for RJ to bring us out here, and really happy to be at this camp.
Like I said, you're in Michigan a bunch. You're talking about the Michigan teams you work with, but more importantly, you said you love the Michigan wrestling culture. What does that look like to you? What does that mean, and what do you see inside the Great Lakes State?
For sure. Here it's just very different. We talked about this earlier in the year, how Michigan's like caught in between, and not in a bad way, caught in between like being a really high level great wrestling state, but also still having a very open-minded mentality when it comes to how they go about things. You look at like things like My Way, and the things that people are embracing to do things differently than the way they've always done. You've got really, really great teams, like some of the ones that I work with, like just to name two, Dundee, CC, both won state titles last year. These are great coaches that also have the mentality that they're always trying to get better. That's why they utilize us, right? It's when I travel, things that I notice different things in every state, and this is a state that has the highest level of competition with the minimal amount of ego, and I think that's why Michigan's wrestling is growing so fast. And I think it's a great representation of all the hard work that all the coaches put in. In addition to that, I think it also just shows how bright of a future and how high of a ceiling Michigan wrestling has. And I really enjoy being here. It's a unique experience. And at this camp, for example, there's only one camp in the country where I have hundreds of kids come up to me on their own and shake my hand, and that's Kyler Sanderson's camp in Utah. That's a very unique culture. Michigan-wide here, like kids from all different cultures and all different schools, we're having hundreds of kids come up, not just shake my hands, other clinicians' hands, because they're just really thankful for the opportunity to be here. That's a big principle for us, and to see that ingrained in a wrestling culture, I've only seen it one other place ever, and Michigan is the second. It's pretty cool.
You were given a couple breakout session type talks today. You got to speak with the coaches, and then you spoke to the wrestlers. What do you hope that maybe the wrestlers or coaches were able to come away with from your interaction with them?
My number one goal here, I've been to both camps now. My number one goal here was mainly talking about how the importance of focusing on the right things. In our program, there's 60 different worksheets that build on each other, 9 different topics within them, right? My goal is that these kids need to understand that they're always faced with 2 choices in every single situation in wrestling, school, and life. So for the wrestlers, it was understanding that when you're faced with these situations, you have the power, and I can help you, give you the tools to make the right choice. Whether you make the right choice will determine your outcome. The E plus R equals O. Event plus response equals outcome. If they can walk away with that, I think kids are already come up to me telling me that it's helping with their wrestling. Coaches will hear that and reinforce it. What I was really helping the coaches do is how to help these coaches understand, one, how to help their kids get through some specific battles on their own, how they can facilitate that process. And specifically the things that we talked about were dealing with the fan mentality, and also how to help kids pull the trigger. So giving coaches some specific tools that they can tangibly take and then go apply in their wrestling room. And that's really what we hope to give when we come as clinicians with Wrestling Mindset, is give these empowered coaches with tools and kids with tools that they can come back and rep and learn more on their own.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you making the trip up from Houston. We love, you're always very positive about Michigan all the time, so we appreciate that, and I'm sure we'll run into you soon here.
For sure. Thank you. Appreciate it.